Good morning. This is Grateful Ed. Hope you're having a great day. It is a great day to be alive and a great day to be here making a video. I want to thank you for watching. Send out a great big hello and send my love to everyone. I want to make a point every day, that these videos are not about me. It's about sharing my story. There's so many things going on that are so much bigger that every little bit helps, I believe, when it comes to telling your story and sharing your opinion, trying to stand up for what's right. I want to give a big thank you, to especially the people that have, number one, listened to my story at a different level and, giving me the benefit of the doubt when it comes to all of the false narratives that have been put out there, because there's so many, at so different levels, so many different levels. So I want to thank you for that. And, also for the people who have stood up, taken action, have worked to break these generational curses, have worked on themselves in order to make changes in their life. I salute you, because sometimes it's very, very difficult to take a look and face at these things and, take action. Nobody's perfect in this world, but, everybody deserves a fair shake, without being, how can I say it, categorized and slandered by the society. And I don't want to go too far into that, because I want to talk about President Trump and the things that are going on. Okay. So, when it comes to President Trump's prosecution, this thing is, more and more people know it's, political hit job. And it's, drummed up charges, regurgitated charges. I didn't say that word right. Regurgitated charges, and just, total bullshit when it comes to the MO of the prosecutor Bragg. Okay. But I want to start off because I was thinking about, during my lifetime, President Trump, he's done more, to wake people up and motivate people when it comes to, standing up for the Constitution and, being proud that we're Americans and not being led astray by these false narratives. Also to, wake us up about the deep state and how far that goes. In order to take away your freedoms and liberty, okay? But, what I was thinking about is during my lifetime, I got to talk about President Reagan, okay? And the feeling, growing up in America in the 60s, we had a great sense of patriotism, okay, to know that we grew up in a country where we were the world leader, okay, and that our military was the strongest in the world, and its job was to defend the Constitution and the American people. And also that when it comes to the political, from the world stage, okay, and world geopolitics, that America was the leader, okay. We were the defenders of freedom, and we did not want to fall into communism, okay, because we were in the middle of the Cold War when I grew up in the 60s, and we were the world leader when it comes to democracy. When it comes to the world politics, the geopolitical scene, that whole dynamic, that America was the leader. Okay. So I think about things that had happened and how that made you feel. Okay, how did I feel about these things? You know, how can I say, the Iranian nuclear crisis, or excuse me, the Iranian hostage crisis. Okay, that was a big deal, you know, to have Americans held hostage at our embassy, you know, and also the Beirut bombings. Okay, these acts of terrorism, they hit you and they hit you hard. Okay, that someone would try to do that to America. So during Carter's administration, you know, I was still young, I was still a teenager, so I wasn't in touch with politics so much. But you still have a sense of it, okay? Because you know, it's so much a part of everyone's everyone's reality. But you know, the thing about President Reagan, he boosted that and he brought that back up, and you know, made us feel good about our country, and rebuilt the military. You know, after the Vietnam War, and you know, strengthened the economy. Okay, more people try to get back to work because we were in the middle of the Rust Belt too. You know, the decline in manufacturing, so people lost their jobs, people lost their house, and a whole way of life was changing. Okay, uh, moving out of that, I guess, the industrial age into the information age. Okay, and I'm just saying, President Trump, he had so many more challenges, if you will, because of so many things that have degraded as far as our patriotism, what's right and what's wrong, and not to fall into this pop culture type political environment, you know, that, you know, I feel is just identity politics. And also, you know, Obama was sort of like the quintessential pop culture president, you know, that mixed in a lot of things that were appealing to new people in the new generation. But in my opinion, strong opinion, and a lot of people's, it was just made to lead us farther from our basic doctrine, okay, of, you know, freedom, liberty, uh, life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, you know, instead of being a puppet on a string, or a slave, or a commoner, you know, made to cater to the upper class or the political class, what have you. Okay. So, you know, I'm just saying he's done more for that for me and a lot of people, you know. So, I'm just saying that's my opinion, and I know a lot of people share that opinion. And this whole political witch hunt, you know, it's gone too far. It's gone way too far. And I got my opinion how that's going to play out in the end. Okay. I want to talk about Tennessee, and I want to phrase it. So, I, I do not know exactly what happened. I understand that some of the lawmakers in Tennessee had joined in with demonstrators when it comes to I guess, the gun rights, or to stop gun violence in schools. Okay. So the first thing off the top of my head is, why is a politician joining in on a demonstration? Because at that point, I mean, you have a conflict of interest about what's going on. Okay. So, you know, somehow we had lost our sense of what a politician is and what they should do, you know, as far as being neutral in order to try to do the best thing for everyone, into you know, hey, yeah, let's go with the social justice warrior bullshit. Okay. So that was my initial thought. But the second one was, you know, after yesterday, look, if you've got these politicians, if you got their mugs on CNN and BBC and MSNBC simultaneously, You're a puppet. You're a puppet for the deep state, and you're just, doing these things to agitate people. And, really, it's really a dangerous thing. There's nothing funny about that. Okay. So to see them be expelled, that's exactly what they deserve, in my opinion. Okay. Big conflict of interest from the beginning, and, a political play. That is way wrong, in my opinion. Um, okay, so back to President Trump. Okay, um, with this whole prosecution. Okay, it's the statute of limitations have expired. The federal prosecutors would not prosecute it. Okay, they would not take the case because it was too weak. Okay, the prosecutor Bragg, he campaigned on these issues as far as let's get Trump, okay, to take down Trump, okay. That's the MO, not justice, because if you look at the rest of New York, it's it's very dangerous about letting the criminals right out of jail, but you want to go after a political figure, especially when it comes to President Trump, okay. The information about the judge, okay, about the history there, and he is anti-Trump, okay. There's no doubt about it. And then the history with his daughter, okay. The history of the daughter working on campaigns for Vice President Harris. So all those things considered, it's a witch hunt. But this is the way I see it this morning, okay. So it shows us how corrupt the deep state really is. And it brings me back to Larry Nichols, okay. When he was trying to explain, before he passed away about people would not believe how deep and how wide the corruption is, as far as that has already taken place in our country, and the plans to finally take down democracy and our freedoms in America, okay. The thing about it, I gotta say this morning, is President Trump is the one that is fighting that battle, leading that battle, to show us how corrupt these folks are. So, it's not just your state senator or your congressman, okay? It comes down to the prosecutors, to people in government, the ones writing the contracts, the ones with fiduciary responsibility, the ones moving the money, making decisions on contract, kickbacks, who gets who, the revolving door as far as I got to bring in the media, okay, which is a propaganda tool. It looks like a fucking propaganda tool for communism to me right now. And the good, the bad, and the ugly. I'm not saying all the people are bad, but I'm saying that they're in a situation where they have to read off the same sheet of music, okay? But all these people, who else? Your local government, especially if, to take in consideration, if these things are rigged, okay, and they're planned that way, and unless you're part of the organization or society, in order to take the money and sell out your country, sell out your organization, sell out your citizens, and in order to profit for yourself and to be put yourself in a class away from everyone else. That's exactly what it's showing, okay, in my opinion. So it's very difficult, it's very difficult, and some people will never ever get it. But, this is the time we live in, and this is what's happening, day to day. It can be overwhelming for some people, but I believe that these things were meant to be, okay? So, I'm going to leave it there today, especially when it comes to, trying to digest how deep and wide all the corruption is. Okay, we're seeing it at a first-hand level. It's Easter, Israel's getting attacked. We've got all this on the brink of World War II, okay? The bank failures, okay? The dollar's in jeopardy. First time, in the world we've ever talked about these things, but we're seeing it play out, before our eyes every day. Weather warfare, so many people are displaced, every day, I think about these things. I pray about these things, about people being displaced out of their house one way or the other. And to give hope, because that's what it takes during these times. The other thing is the border crisis. There's so many tragedies playing out at a certain time. We see it, human trafficking, drug smuggling at levels that no one has ever seen before, child abductions and child trafficking, families being torn apart. It's just, and unfortunately it has to be shown into the American people in order to get it, that this is part of Biden's and the radical left, that's their playbook, in order to destroy the United States. Also the the chemical attacks, on so many levels with these train derailments. And, I got to hand it to the people in East Palestine, Ohio. They're standing up, and they're putting a spotlight on these big corporations and big companies who are in bed with Biden and the administration, and they always have been. And, it's all about the money. It's not about the people. And also the Biden focus on Ukraine. Okay, while all these things are happening, his attention is over in Ukraine, the Ukrainian war, Ukraine, just like Russia, in order to keep our eye off the ball about really what's happening in our own backyards in every community in America. Okay, I also got to bring up a little bit about this after action report about blaming Trump about the withdrawal from Afghanistan. That's total bullshit. I don't know how you can stand up there and say that other than they don't take responsibility for any of their actions. And it's probably, just made to aggravate people and Trump supporters because a lot of people know it's true. That's not part of military doctrine, to leave that much hardware and allies, in harm's way and in the battlefield and hand that to the enemy. That's just doesn't make sense. It don't pass the smell test, okay? And then you got China saber rattling against Taiwan, okay? North Korea, going off the rails. And America basically AWOL when it comes to diplomacy. I'm glad to see that the Republicans are, at least doing or I was bipartisan, I suppose, but the Republicans were leading when it comes to talks with the Taiwanese president, and that whole situation too, very volatile all around the world. So anyway, I just want to say that I want to wrap up by saying President Trump knows their playbook. It's been a witch hunt on him and his family for so many years, okay, that because he knows their playbook, they've been so many scandals, okay, so many lawsuits, so many using government agencies and try to tear him down, okay, so many attempts in order to take him out of the picture when it comes to the politics because he knows their playbook. He knows their playbook. He knows what they're trying to do to America, okay. Once he left the Democratic Party in New York, he has tried to do his best in order to stand up for America, American values, and American people. So it is a direct threat to them, and they've known it all this time, okay? And with the influence growing, it's evident to me. He will take this, he will use it against them. It's going to backfire, okay? There's no way that they will win this battle when it comes to keeping President Trump from becoming president. There's no way. He will turn that against them, and I believe they're going to regret the day they mess with Trump. I really, really do. Because the truth is going to come out. I got a little long-winded on that, but I'm going to wrap it up for today. Thank you very much. Have a great day. God bless you. God bless America. And keep on keeping on.